Oh, let me see the AB.
First, I have to wash my hands with soap.
He would know his own blood tapping, you just put it in there.
Perfect. I'm sure of my results. Maria should be happy. I've done my work well. I finished the sample and the tests. Have you been back long?
I should have come help you, shouldn't I?
I was delighted to be of assistance. But now I have to think of my own work.
Of course. I hope your investigation is going well.
It has changed character. As strange as it might seem, I now am ordered to study some supernatural creatures, vampires.
Vampires? Like Dracula?
Dracula?
Don't you know it? It's a wonderful novel. I'll get it for you. Look at this book. It's Dracula by Bram Stoker. Oscar Wilde said it was the most beautiful novel of the century.
What a massive novel. Let's peruse it to see if there are any interesting parts.
I just say we're going to randomly flip it. How was it that all the people at Bistrick on the coach took this terrible fear from me? What meant the giving of the crucifix or the garlic or the wild rose of the mountain ash? Abanasisgane have come to the castle. I can't read these foreign words, I'm sorry. And are encamped in the courtyard. These are gypsies. There are thousands of them in Hungary and Transylvania who are almost outside all law. They attach themselves as a rule to some great noble or boyar, and they call themselves by his name. They are fearless and without religion save superstition. Young Miss is bad, very bad. She wants blood, and blood she must have or die. My friend John and I have consulted, and we're about to perform what we call transfusion of blood, to transfer her from full flames of one to the empty veins which pine for him. As he did so, the narrow black velvet band which she aims always were around her throat, buckled with an old diamond buckle which her lover had given her. It was dragged up a little up and showed the red mark on her throat. Lucy's trying to go. Go away, cat. Find this great undead, and cut off his head and burn his heart, or drive a stake through it, so that the world may rest of him. And close the entomb so the undead may not enter. What is that which you are using? You can't die. Stop it. He throws no shadow he made in the mirror, no reflect. He can transform himself into a bat. He can be as bats. He comes on moonlight rays as element dusk. He can, when once he finds his way, come out from anything or into anything. He can see in the dark. He who is not of nature has yet to obey the nature's law, why we know not. He may not enter anywhere a first time unless there be someone of the household who bid him to come, though afterwards he can come and go as he please. Then there are things which so afflict him that he has no pies of the garlic that we know of, and asks for things sacred as the symbol of my crucifix. He tell me of what he has been. He must indeed have been that. I'm not saying that word, Dracula. You want his name against the Turk, over the great river at the very frontier of Turkeyland. Dracula is...
I was captivated by this novel. And you know the strangest thing? The author used Vlad Tepes as his model for the character of Dracula.
Vlad Tepes? The voivode?
The very same one. The one who used to rule from the Castle of Twilight, whose ruins you must have noticed. Vlad Tepes, nicknamed Dracula.
That's pretty good.
I can guess what comes next. He wants me to call back as soon as possible.
You don't really want to, if I'm not mistaken.
Professor Kruger is a great scientist. He worked with Martha and now insists on me continuing her research. But I haven't a research scientist's soul. Anyway, it's too much work.
Now, isn't that a shame?
Oh, please, Father, no sermons. I promise that I'll take it upon myself to finish the analyses he wants from me. I'm afraid not. For me, vampires are romantic fictional characters, not subjects to be studied. In fact, I did observe several spontaneous cures, but, you know, this sort of thing happens relatively frequently. Spontaneous does not necessarily mean miraculous. Everything is possible. Stoker speaks of this voivode Dracula who earned his nickname attacking the Turks beyond the great river at the very border of their country. That clearly signifies Vlad Tepes. That prince spent his youth as a captive of the Turks. Afterwards, he fought them fiercely. The word has two meanings, devil or dragon. It's been translated into every language, and I've heard that the director, Murnau, is going to do a film version, but I don't know if I will have the opportunity to see the movie. I like him. One day he came to the dispensary and took a picture of me. He gave me some prints. I know him. He came to the dispensary too, to give his blood.
I have to talk with Janos. I wonder if he knows that his great hero, Vlad Tepes, served as the model for Dracula, the vampire. Hello, Janos. I have a surprise for you. I've just been ordered to conduct an investigation into vampires.
What do you know? Anything can happen. I was talking about the same subject with Stefan Luca, who just arrived at the inn. He's kind of a fanatic, and firmly believes in the existence of vampires. You should question him.
You're more useful to me because you're a historian. I have several questions to ask you, particularly about Vlad Tepes.
The recognized expert on the subject was Professor Van Bergen.
The great Orientalist. The man who crisscrossed Asia for the English Secret Service?
The very one. At his death, his superb collection was bequeathed to his successor, Professor Irina Boksa. Speak about her to Stefan Luca. I think he has her number.
So Professor Boxoff would be the person to consult?
Without a doubt. She possesses remarkable pieces on the subject you are interested in. A manuscript of a biography of Vlad Tepes in particular.
Good. I shall get in touch with her.
That's a legend forged by his enemies. Stoker was inspired by it to write a very bad novel. It's a journey of initiation that some traditions associate with Vlad Tepes. Most likely because Vlad was called Dracula, which means the dragon or the devil. But it's more related to occultism than to history. Professor Boksa will fill you in better than I can. I assume she took some of your blood? She gets everybody to contribute.
I'm watching you, yeah, I get it. Stop it.
Greetings, stranger.
Hello. I'm Father Arno Moriani.
I am Luana, a gypsy. Tell me, priest, do you want to know the future?
I'd prefer to ask you about the past and the present.
Yes. She did not choose an easy path. From behind the high grass, the wolf observes the flock and carries off the weak and isolated.
As usual, the Oracle speaks in obscure, mysterious terms.
That is because it does not want to lie, nor provoke the anger of the powerful. Certain things. But I also know the virtues of silence. As much as I want to know.
Wow, you're not helpful.
I have a feeling that before the end you will know more than me about the dragon. Hey, priest, do you want to play?
Yes, on the condition that we don't wager money.
You want to play for nothing? That's not my custom. But I am curious to see how you manage. Look carefully at your cards before you play.
They're both black. Black or red. I can be red. Oh, dang
Look
it.
carefully at your... What is the color of the hidden side? Pick up the card. You lose.
Dang it.
Pick up the card. You lose.
Oh, I'm sucking it.
Pick up the card.
Oh, it should be red.
You win.
They actually won.
Pick up the card. You win.
I need to win one more to redeem myself.
Pick up the card. You lose.
I need to win 2 more times.
I've played enough. I have to concentrate on my mission now.
Examine the dice carefully before you play.
Twos or fives.
Each one, in turn, must choose a different die and throw it using a horn. The 2 dice are discovered at the same time. The higher number wins. Do you want to begin? You lose. You lose.
I suck at this.
You win.
Yay, 1-1. Oh, which one did you?
You lose.
Fudge this. And I go talk to the what's he called? Person.
Please!
She was found in the dispensary, lying on her bed, calm, like as if an angel had come to get her. We all wanted her to have a real nice burial, but we had to do something simple because the funeral parlor's been closed since the war. Oh, well, he's buried in the corner up there. He was a strong guy, did road work. Still, he passed on real quick. Dead of the cold. Maybe. What's sure is, she didn't die at peace. I'd rather not talk about all that. Oh, Saint Martha, protect us.
Excuse me?
Nothing, nothing, Father. You were talking about the castle? Well, with all due respect, there's nobody left up there, and it's all demolished. So I don't go there. Oh, that one. With all due respect, Father, she cheats at cards like a dice. Or if she ain't cheating, then she must be in league with the devil.
Leave the devil out of all this.
Oh, well, whatever. In any case, I always lose against her.
Well, then don't play anymore.
Legends. Remains to be seen if it's legends. Could be you'll find some who talk to you about it. Maybe. I'd rather not talk about all that.
There's a lot you don't want to talk about.
You know.
Of course. We played together before the war. Sometimes we'd go to the chapel with our friends. We weren't allowed, but we went there anyway. And then Celdric got sick. He went to the dispensary, to Martha. And then he died. He's my friend. He's great at the disc game. He got sick, but he's not dead. Martha sent him to the coast to cure. Lucky guy. Now the bridge is broken and you can't get in anymore. Except through the underground passages. But I don't know where they are. And you really have to be careful about ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yes. You can hear them crying at night. Ariel even saw them. Naked men carrying rocks to build a wall. Women and children too, stuck on stakes. She won at dice against my uncle. I could have beaten her for sure, but she didn't want to play with me. I know one. He's very tall and walks in silence. I saw him through the fog near the tomb of the wild rose and to the crossroads of the broken oak. But it's funny you should ask me that question. Usually grown-ups don't like to talk about those things.
Why do you think that's so?
I think the grown-ups are scared.
And you're not scared?
No, Martha protects me.
I just wanted to talk to him.
It just so happens that my congregation has ordered me to undertake an inquiry on the vampires.
Inquire? We have to fight.
Suppose they exist. If that's the case, isn't it essential to study them first? Know thy enemy.
Ours is wily and difficult to get at unless we take the path of the dragon. That was Martha's conviction.
The path of the dragon?
The dragon, the vampire, Dracula. All these names designate our adversary. The path of the dragon leads to his lair. Look at this file that Martha entrusted me with on her return from Turkey. She had established that the path comprised 7 trials. The related documents are sorted in 7 folders.
Why do you still have all this other crap on the table? I just want to make this.
I know that work. It's Raphael's Crucifixion.
Yes, photographed by Martha. According to her, this painting has a connection with the first stage on the path of the dragon.
Really? The painting has a hidden meaning?
Martha thought so. She spoke to me of other versions of the same work of art, slightly modified reproductions she examined in private collections. According to her, to understand the hidden message, the original's not enough. It has to be compared to the copies and the variations noted.
Do you have other versions of the painting?
Unfortunately not. Martha gave me this file at the beginning of her research, for she feared her papers would be stolen. Afterwards, we had a falling out, and she didn't transmit anything else to me. I'm certainly lacking some essential pieces.
We're radically changing style, you could say.
This other document is a sketch Martha made of an ancient bas-relief.
The inscription is hard to make out. It vaguely resembles Enochian.
But the drawing is clear. The figure is slashing his veins.
I see the sketch is classified in the first folder with the crucifixion. Is there a connection then between these 2 documents and the first stage of the path?
For Martha, there was no doubt about it. Here's a sketch of another bas-relief from the same place as the previous one. Martha associated it with the second trial.
There aren't any other documents? Nothing for the 5 last tests?
They're all I have, but I'm sure that Martha found many others if I'd only been more conciliatory. Father, we have to follow the path of the dragon. Let's go to Turkey, since Martha went there. Together we'll succeed.
I don't think that my superiors would appreciate that initiative. However, I promise that I'll think about it.
Irina Buksov, I tried to contact her, but I was rejected. She's incredibly mistrustful. It's a shame, because I think she knows a great deal about the path of the dragon.
Do you have her phone number? Who knows? Maybe I'll be luckier than you.
Do you think so? Possibly. You're a priest. That inspires trust. Call 445-827 in Budapest. But whatever you do, don't say you know me. One day, I found her in a state of shock. She wouldn't tell me anything, but I understood that she had been threatened. I told her she was taking too many risks. She wasn't listening to me. So I got angry. She answered that she'd do without my help, and she never spoke to me again about the path. It was stupid of me. If I'd backed her up all the way, she might still be alive. Today, it's my duty to finish what she began. Alone, if you won't help me. Martha said it was the only way to discover objects and symbols related to each trial. She added that without that knowledge, it was impossible to attain the end of the path. She haunted public and private libraries. I know that she frequently visited the Alba Iula Museum. It burned shortly after her death. I have a feeling it wasn't by accident. I went to give blood at the request of Dr. Maria Florescu.
You didn't try to recover any documents?
What's the point in harassing young Maria? I'm sure there's nothing left of Martha's archives. Our enemy has had plenty of time to destroy them.
I'm actually gonna stop here because I've seen this. Wow, these dudes. Oh, yeah, I'm taking a break now.